Wake up, rat variable.
Why? I'm up. And why do you keep calling me that? I already told you my name.
It's for the sake of consistency, since both variables have the same name. Nothing against you. Garrett Price is a cat variable.
Whatever. What do you want?
I heard the next game you're covering is Psyops, the Mindgate Conspiracy. Tell me your history about that game.
Okay then, back when I was a kid, Blockbuster was still around. It's where we got most of our PS2 games. We didn't have internet, so we couldn't read that 2006 IGN interview or whatnot. I would see a game with a cool cover, look at the back to see the screenshots, and if I liked what I saw, I begged my parents for it. It was like bargain bin rush roulette. Sometimes you get a gem, other times you get dog shit. Psyops was one of the gems.
Fascinating. That's the same exact thing the cat variable says about this game.
That's cool. Glad there are people with similar experiences. It was truly simpler times back then. I'm gonna get to work. And you? Write down whatever you're gonna write down, or whatever else that you do. Psyops, the Mindgate Conspiracy. A game made by... Midway? The creators of Mortal Kombat? It is that Midway. Scorpion broke containment.
Excellent.
We start off with generic American badass Nick Stryer getting his memory wiped. All of his years of training are now completely forgotten. He is now simply Nick the American, the Best Buy employee with wife and kids. We then see how Nick got to this situation and get ready for a bit of a lore dump, because this context is important. He worked for an organization called Mindgate. Their goal was to take down a group of terrorists, simply known as the Movement. The movement was led by a man, simply known as the General. To explain Mindgate a bit, Mindgate is a government organization comprised of Psi operatives, and the government is using their powers for their own means. The movement is comprised of former Psi operatives, fighting for the promise that the General made for them. That promise being that the General will make a world where Psi operatives are no longer exploited by the government, used as tools just because they have psi powers. They will no longer be oppressed by normal humans. They will instead be something greater. Mindgate and the movement go to war. Mindgate is being overwhelmed by the sheer number of soldiers the movement has. Thousands of seemingly mindless soldiers fighting without regard for their safety. The movement then deploys a psi operative, a master of telekinesis. He draws a tanker at multiple Mindgate soldiers, killing them instantly and forcing the rest to surrender. The remaining members of Mindgate have been captured, and the spokesperson for the movement, Leonov, feeds them the most honest propaganda you ever heard. His speech leaves no room for interpretation. You are to conform, submit, and obey. This is your life now. Welcome to the movement. The General comes by and introduces himself. He says the same thing Leonov says, but more bluntly. You are to serve, or you are to die. Nick had enough of the yapping, so he steals a gun from one of those mindless soldiers and shoots him in the head. Telekinesis man puts an end to his insubordination and picks up the gun with his mind. He then picks up Nick and his friend while doing an evil laugh. Mr. General then reiterates, serve or die. He then kills the wrong person. He was supposed to kill the main character, but no, he kills Sanders. Poor Sanders. Rest in peace, Sanders. But hey, if the General made the smart decision, we wouldn't have a game. The mindless soldiers then send Nick to solitary. We then hear a voice in our mind. She says, Nick, you're finally here. She tells us to wake the fuck up and casually breaks us out of jail. Basically saying that there's no time to explain, take this gun, and let's get out of here. We leave solitary, and the game gives us a rundown of the controls, like this goofy melee that makes you chuckle every time, along with crouching, and the game does encourage a level of stealth. But the stealth is poorly implemented, and it doesn't complement the gameplay loop, so it's easy to forget that's an option. We come across the first guard. The enemies here are called meat puppets. They were once regular humans, but now, their brain is psionically reprogrammed to fight and die for the movement, no matter what. There are 3 variants of meat puppets. This one's an MP1. Nothing special, it's just basic campfire and overall competent. The only strength is that there are thousands of them. They are also really easy to manufacture, so the movement can have armies of these guys at a moment's notice. There's a small amount of guns here. You can only carry 2 at a time, but one of them has to be the pistol the woman gives you. So your options are an SMG, an assault rifle, a shotgun, and a sniper. All of them are viable, but I'll be using the assault rifle for most of this playthrough, since it's really all we need. The game's gunplay becomes secondary after a while, and you'll see why very soon. As you go on, killing meat puppets and stealing keycards. There's a lot of keycards, by the way. You meet the woman again. She says her name is Sarah Blake, and she asks if you trust her. Then she injects you with something. Did I hear the word inject? Not now, cop. There's no drugs here. Injection leads to insurrection. I'm here to make sure you're a productive member of society, and you can't do that when you're on drugs. Relinquish your drugs now! Tell you what, if you find someone who is high on their ass on heroin and is actively trying to overthrow the government, then you may continue to pester me. Otherwise, leave me alone. Bet. This would be easy. Good. He's gone. Anyway, Nick is very skeptical about Sarah's intentions, but she insists that you can trust her. Also, Nick doesn't really have a choice. No one else is here to help him, so we go with the flow. The main thing we need to know right now is that Sarah is working for the movement as a double agent, and the thing she injected in us will help us get our memories back. And those memories will tell us about the side powers we have but forgot how to do, and we'll get other memories from our past that were affected by the mind wipe. Sarah leaves, and that serum is already working as we encounter our first memory, the memory of telekinesis. I was always an outcast, never fitting with anyone, having my presence being disregarded, being borderline invisible in any social setting I was in. I only found solace in fellow outcasts, and pieces of me that I had a strong connection to. The creatures of others left a huge impact on me. The art of people with similar experiences to mine shaped me as a person. So maybe, if I made my own art, my own creative work, pursue my own journey, I could leave that same impact on someone. Maybe make some new connections I never had as a kid. Maybe I'll finally be a part of something. Maybe for once, I'll feel human. What the hell was that? It's my mind playing tricks on me. Whatever my brain was yapping about there, it felt oddly personal. Like I was describing something I'd been through before. Weird. Why was a cat there? Whatever. It's probably nothing. Getting back on track, Nick's memories serve as a very clever way to give the player tutorials about new side powers as they get them. These memories are flashbacks of Nick's training missions ran by Barrett, the telekinesis guy that threw a tanker at us, making us surrender. And even though we're not being taught how to draw semi-strikes our enemies, telekinesis is still very much the most versatile skill, something that the player will absolutely use the most. We start small by lifting boxes with our mind. The control is pretty intuitive, pressing L2 to pick up the object, and we can throw the object by flicking the stick in any direction we want to. We can even use pressure sensitivity, pressing L2 lightly will lift things slightly, reducing the height, of course. Because the PS2 had that. It also has sticks that didn't drift. Crazy concept, I know. Classic controllers are just better in every way. We continue to explore other uses for TK, such as using blockless building blocks to climb walls, and something called TK Multi-Lift, where you lift the object, let it go, and lift it again to increase altitude. Then we have some fun and start using it on people. We can throw people at walls, people at people, objects at people. We can grab a person and shoot them to destroy their dead body. Really fun to play around with. With this one ability, the game opens up a lot. It's pretty funny that Barrett says the people in the training sessions are well paid. But the thing is, these people actually die during these training sessions. So what do you mean they're well paid? Do you just add more to their life insurance? Maybe send an apology video to your loved ones? The toxic business strain got one-way ticket to corrupted occupations. I apologize. Back to your present now. Nick remembers everything about telekinesis, and we can now use it for real, to the dismay of these meat puppets. Now let me know if it sounds psychotic for saying this, but the meat puppets have really nice screams. The screams of meat puppets are one thing that made me appreciate voice acting. I longer get Lee's hot voice in Tekken 5, but that's neither here nor there. Like, just listen to him scream and let me know if I'm crazy for liking it so much. Like, am I a sadist or something? I don't think so. After all that, we have another recollection. Did I truly ever wanted to be alone? Stay inside, interact with no one but pixels shaped like people on my screen? Or did I want someone to share my passion with without judgment? The more I do this, the more I realize it was the latter. This is what I was missing for over a decade now. I need to keep creating, keep making connections, never fade away. There it is again! Who is that cat person in my head? Let's just keep going. Probably only got 3 hours of sleep and I'm hearing things. The next power Nick remembers is remote viewing. The ability to view the world around you remotely, like a Rainbow Six drone, or Aiden from Beyond Two Souls, if you could only phase through doors and then try to fuck up your love life. This is more of a niche power. The strange session tells you use for stealth. Take no enemy patterns and use them against them for stealth takedowns. Personally, I use it for late game, when I find high tier enemies I didn't want to physically peek. I use it to see if they're still alive or how many they are, and act accordingly. As a place this game, you're just likely not going to use it much. That marks the end of what essentially is Chapter 1. At the end of every chapter, the game gives you current stats, but my favorite being the property damage tracker. During this chapter, we have done $45,000 worth of property damage. We're going to keep track of this throughout the entire game and adjust it to inflation. This game came out in October of 2004, so 45k is around $76,035.86 as of June of 2025, since that's when the script was written. Sarah then contacts us with her mind. Nick asks how she's doing this, and then we learn that Sarah is a psi operative who specializes in telepathy. And while this is not stated, Nick also has telepathy, since he's able to respawn, and later in the game, he will start initiating conversations. Now we start Chapter 2, opening this big door, and Nick remembers my favorite ability, Mind Drain. Doing this gave me a social and creative outlet. It saved my life. But my creative drive is always hungry for more. Despite the praise I get for my content, I feel like I need to be better. I also feel like that what I'm doing is working. Why should I change? These methods are tried and true. If these methods are good, surely I'll grow, right? I'll just blow up one day, get lucky, and I'll grow. But maybe I'm truly shit. Another boring creative, chasing a destination that was never made for them. I guess I'll find out. Okay, these visions or flashbacks or whatever they are, they're starting to hit too close to home. Doctor!
Got something to report? Rat variable?
I begin these flashbacks or visions or whatever they are of some cat person with massive ears, orange and brown hair, and I think a blue outfit. They were talking about making content and never wanted to fade away, and some of the things they started saying sounded very relatable.
Fascinating. That sounds a lot like the cat variable, specifically the one from the past. I don't know what the cat variable thinks now or what their goals are, so a lot of things you're hearing probably does not stand today.
That's very cool and interesting, I guess, but why am I hearing these?
Perhaps you two are psionically linked? Just a hypothesis. Take it with a grain of salt.
For now, I'll try to ignore it. Keep pushing and finish the video. I want to meet this cat though.
I cannot let you do that. Me and the cat variable can have unforeseen effects on you and this world. Two hands of the creator have never existed in the same place before. I'm sure there's a reason why you two are not allowed to meet.
That is quite ominous, but you gotta break the mold to leave your mark. I'll see you later then. Gonna continue what I was doing. We are now straining a mind drain, the ability to drain sonic power from the target's brain. Everyone has a bit of sonic power, just for most people it's not awakened or they just don't know how to use it. So anyone can be drained. Except for bosses, because, they're bosses, that's how they work. You start by draining from a dead body. Usually a dead body gives you less energy, since the brain is dead. Draining from a living body, however, gives you a shit ton of energy, to a point where your target's brain explodes. It's stated that you have to sneak attack someone to drain a living person, but this is not entirely true. You can use telekinesis to grab someone and pull them towards you, and then get behind them. This counts as a sneak attack for some reason, so therefore, you can drain them. Whether this was intentional or not, this is a really cool combo, and the sonic powers are starting to really complement each other. It's part of what makes this game satisfying. How we use your powers in a given situation, and what combination of powers will you use. I love this. After we're done playing around with our new power, shotgun and shot meat puppets, and getting this new keycard in the most fucked up way possible, we see how meat puppets are made, and we reunite with Sanders in a very homoerotic moment. Nick gets too excited and blows his load too early. Sanders gets mad and dies. Why did I write that? I apologize. Nick contacts Sarah, saying what the hell is going on? My lifelong homie just had his head exploded, and not in a good way. I'm going to tear this place down. This will not stand. We take our anger out on these two blue coats by showing them the power of Texas weather. Then we pick up an implant device, which serves as a keycard. We open that door to encounter the second locked door. This one will not bend to the power of a keycard. This one requires a passcode. As Sarah states, Leonov has a passcode, and we need to find a way to get it. Luckily, his office is just down the hall. Leonov is having a conversation with Barrett, and we hear some Leonov backstory, a former KGB PSI operative who is a master of mind control. A Russian soldier with propaganda magic. Putin will love him. Or maybe Putin would hate him, since the general joins ass for not meeting quotas. He gets an earful from Barrett. Then after that convo, we use remote viewing to see the passcode for that door plastered on Leonov's desk. You would think Mindgate would be a bit more secretive, since this facility is full of psi operatives, and they know that there's an ability that allows you to see through walls. So theoretically, a group who specializes in remote viewing could access top secret information by just seeing through doors. And once they get that information, they could revolt. But I digress. So we break in, find blueprints of the whole facility, then go take these blueprints to the warhead room where Sarah is. Sarah then tells Nick that we'll take these warheads in the warhead room and we'll be the one to blow this place up. Despite not remembering about what Mindgate taught them about blowing up evil government buildings, because that was part of the training, we plant 3 bombs at the designated spots, in a very specific order, mind you. The game will not let you pick your own route, which is fine, it's a small facility. So the route is very straightforward, unlike me who is gay backward. Placing the last bomb summons Leonov, our first boss fight. Each major psi operative we fight specializes in one psi power, with Leonov being mind control as mentioned before. He uses mind control to circumvent his blindness by using the eyes of his victims. He also has some other properties of his mind control. He can turn people into... okay, I probably can't say that. He can turn people into Voltorbs. Yeah, Voltorbs. Making their bodies explode with overflow of sonic power. He can make them run to wherever or whoever he wants blown. For the fight itself, he uses telekinesis to door the Voltorbs and meat puppet spawners. Once each one is destroyed, Leonov gets mad and starts fighting you himself. He has basic projectiles, and his mind control will invert your controls. You want to be careful when this happens, because if you get too close to him, he'll use Sith Lightning and knock you down. Easy fight though, just take this box and ram it into him multiple times until he stops moving. Use bullets if you're feeling fancy. It'll do less damage, but you can do it. Despite your efforts, Leonov does find an opening, and he does mind control Nick. He puts him in the perfect position for Nick to shoot himself right now. But Leonov succumbs to his biggest weakness, evil laughter. He also has the inability to figure out how bombs work. He hears the bomb beeping, gets confused, loses focus on the mind control. Nick completely misses his head, and then Leonov blows up and dies. Nick survives the explosion, however, and Sarah says, "Hey, get the fuck out of there, the facility's gonna blow." We play through a very satisfying escape. The sound of explosions of falling rubble in the distance, the ceiling caving in, forcing you to use telekinesis to get the pieces out of the way. This music, This track paints the urgency of the situation. So fucking good. We are also introduced to a new enemy type, the MP2. This guy has more health, a better gun, and will attempt to shoot you if you grab him for too long in telekinesis. You gotta want to do him quickly, and there's also a second tier of MP2s that we'll get to later in the game. Those guys have infinite hand grenades. At the end of our escape, we see a general pointing a gun at us, saying that Nick is his best soldier that he ever trained, and he regrets not killing us at the beginning of the game. He fires, but the tremors of the facility fucks up his aim. Instead of firing again, when Nick is pinned down by girders in the environment, being a tad bit more stable, making it easier to hit a shot, he just does an evil laugh, as if he actually did something and leaves. Like, do you want to kill him or not? Like, make up your mind. Sarah comes to evac with Nick, and the movie facility is gone. We do see ashes. We have now caused $91,148 for her property damage. Adjusted for inflation, that is $153,997.95. Add that to her previous property damage, and now we have $230,033.81 for property damage. So, a quick memory from childhood here. Back in the days of PS2, we didn't have Blu-rays. Our games were on DVDs. DVDs were discs, with lower storage capacity. It's why the early Final Fantasy games were split to multiple discs. DVDs are also more prone to scratching. They don't have the protective coating that a Blu-ray has. So yes, playing games constantly on the PS2 will scratch the disc. And it does not help that the laser that the PS2 used would give them strength to read any more discs. If it has something as simple as a fingerprint on the laser, that was very easy to do, since the laser was exposed, right next to the place you put the disc in, and curious children like me would touch it. Why am I going on this tangent, you ask? Well, because for a few years of my childhood, I would complete this level, and the game would send me to an infinite loading screen. Something stopped it from moving on, whether it be the disc condition, or the PS2 itself having a worn out laser. Us 2000s kids know that we try a bunch of insane ways to try to remove scratches, such as washing discs with soap and water, covering the disc in toothpaste or ketchup or whatnot to try to seal the scratches, let that sit for a bit, then wash off with water. Maybe just use a towel. Keep it simple, trying to wipe the scratches away, only to realize that things don't work like that and you scratch the disc more. So one day, the PS2 started making weird sounds, like it was begging to die. So we replaced it, and I played my copy of Psyops because I love this game that much. I played the first level about 100 times by now, but let me tell you, with this new PS2, the level loaded. It finally loaded, and I was able to play it. If you think sex feels good, having a game work after trying to resuscitate it for literal years is definitely a feeling that rivals it. With that out of the way, let's cover Sector 2. Sarah lands us at a military base owned by the movement. She tells us to stick around since Nick would be a high priority right now. They still don't suspect Sarah to be an enemy or a traitor or anything, so she goes ahead of us. Our goal is to fire away through the guards and meet Sarah. Before we start, Nick sees Barrett, along with some meat puppets carrying a box labeled Luna 1. It seems important. So we keep that in mind, give the sniper towers a bad day, then meet Sarah. We learn that this base is not only a front for the movement, but it's also owned by Barrett. Nick starts to connect the dots about what the general said, saying that he has trained him, and Nick asks Sarah, why didn't you tell me the general is part of Mindgate? She says that the general ran Mindgate. He's trained all of the Psi operatives. Quite interesting. You may be wondering what kind of powers the general has. Well, he doesn't have powers. He's a normal human. Simply a government entity, using Psi operatives as pawns. However, he did start to work between the movement and Mindgate. So what exactly is his goals? Something's not adding up here. Well, hopefully you find out. We must now find the communication room and contact HQ. We go down the ladder and remember a new Psi power, mind control. The creative field is rough. It's hard to tell if you're actually making progress or not. You could be making the best things ever made, and it still flops. Outsiders will say that you fell off, despite them never being a fan of you, despite them never seeing your progression. despite them never making anything of their own. Outsiders are your main audience after all. If you can't grasp them, you're a failure. You're shit. They're the only path I see to success. No matter how much praise we get from our creatives. If we don't have constant growth, we're shit. If only I knew what to change though. Every time you deviate from what you were doing, you lose a few outsiders you had. So, Mouse, we need to stick to what works. Do what's right and true. Go back to our roots. And hold on to what we had. Never fade away. Is that cat trying to piss me off? Because they're pretty damn good at it. I know creating's not easy, but you have to take risks to leave your mark. Now with that aside, let's move on to our mind control training. This ability will allow us to take control of an NPC and turn them into a PC. This would not work on bosses, of course. It will also not work on another enemy type that we have not encountered yet. This enables absolute chaos. We can enable the best anime portrayals in glorious civil wars. A thing to keep in mind though, the real body is still open. If you already drew aggro at the enemies, they'll keep shooting you until the victim attacks them. Then they'll say something along the lines of, "What the fuck are you doing, Strayer?" Then all their guns will point to a poor guy with no hesitation. Really fun power to play around with. It's also used for puzzles that require you to be in two places at once, so that's pretty cool. We firmly grasp the mind of his sniper and make him kill his friends while lowering the ladder for me. We climb the ladder and we break into the building via skylight. Nick finds a computer with very limited information about this mysterious Luna 1. He then gets mad because he does not know how to use a computer. So instead of reading the Luna 1 Wikipedia page like a beta, he'll find this thing in person like an alpha. On his quest to find Luna 1, Nick comes across Sarah, who is currently in the process of robbing a bank. We hear no alarms and not a single cloaker staring at me, so we can only assume she's taking the stealth route. Oh wait, wrong game. Nick tells Sarah that Mindgate's dead. Barrett destroyed HQ. Sarah then pulls Luna 1 out of the safe and hands it to Nick. While fondling the balls, Nick asks what Luna 1 is. Sarah does not know. Aside from the fact that the general killed Mindgate over it, she claims she has unfinished business for the general, ever since he went to hiding with her sister. So they agree that Sarah will find her sister, and Nick will take down the general. We move on to our first mind control puzzle. Well, it's not really a puzzle, it's more of a task. Where I can make this guy push a button and use his crane as an elevator. We sneak our way to his building and we hear John General talking to Barrett. He is pissed that Luna 1's gone missing. Mr. General dashed a temper tantrum about never having psi powers, but he wants them really bad. And Luna 1 will grant his wish somehow. He then starts embarrass him more for letting this important object fall into someone's hands, and he demands that he retrieves it. He then makes a fat-phobic joke, which pisses off Barrett so much that he TK grabs these two poor soldiers and make the organs rapidly expand until they blow up. That's how telekinesis works, right? You know, Darth Vader could have done this, but I guess soaking someone when your mind is pretty hot, so no Star Wars complete today. One of the victims drops a keycard. I grab it with telekinesis, because I don't want blood to ruin my outfit. This keycard opens a previously locked door, and behind the door, we find Sarah again, but this time she's a bit thirsty?
You're going into the factory?
Well, that's the plan, isn't it? Barrett's cooking up something in there related to Luna 1.
She then asks to hold on to Luna 1, even though she told us to do the same thing. I guess everyone wants a final boss today. Nick agrees, because we trust her and all. But then Nick says, "Hey, you never told me that Barrett was my old partner." Sarah brushes us off, saying that she simply forgot to mention it. Guess he didn't see it as important. With that part of the game done, we have more property damage to calculate. $84,012 this time. That is $152,498.56. In today's money, we now have a total of $382,532.37 of property damage. We find ourselves in another playground of enemies. We beat them up because of trade action to progress. We avoid the evil automated turret and force guy to press a button without his consent. We now need to bypass these massive dick crushers. We can feed them our soul, but they're still hungry, so we force them to the Square 3 Jawbreaker. 2 falling snipers later, and we face the best boss fight in the game, Barrett. Barrett has a small speech about how Mindgate took advantage of the Psi Elite, and that the General is the future. The one who promises a world where psi operatives are treated as they should. Barrett does a cliche evil thing and tells the main character to join him. Nick says no, and mentions, the general can't execute his plan without Luna 1. You're going to kill me if you want it, Barrett. But we see how Sarah gave it to her general, and now we have to steal it back. Damn, I hate when I'm stabbed in it back in the betrayal type of way. Why can't I be stabbed in it back in the fun type of way? Anyway, Nick gets pissed off. Leave him open for a telekinetic school bully shove. A rookie mistake, but understandable given the situation. Barrett asks him one more time, join me. Obviously, Nick says no, Crispy was not the way to get what you want. The master of telekinesis, Barrett. And Nick, the jack of all trades. But the player mainly uses telekinesis, so it might as well be your main power. It's also the only thing that'll do damage to Barrett. He was an honorable telekinesis fight. First phase, we are surrounded by conveyor belts, carrying numerous pieces of trash we can throw at each other. We realize that Barrett can throw more things than you at a time, so we need to stay on our toes and dodge things, and throw things back when we can. We do enough damage to activate his second phase. He grabs Nick with his mind and tells him to sit in the corner and think about what he has done. He does another evil laugh and says, let's take this outside, just more things to grow out there. We walk outside, carefully, sneaking like solid snake. Hopefully he doesn't see us. But he does. And he attempts to isekai us with a big tanker. By now we know that he has a thing for throwing tankers at people. It tends to end fights quickly. And it'll definitely end your life here if you get hit by it. Not only is it insta-kill, it will also send you to an anime with bad pacing and storytelling. And that's truly a fate worse than death. Please dodge this attack. This is where it gets fun. Barrett is able to throw heavier things at you, so he can't throw tankers, so he can't throw the bigger boxes. As usual, you are able to throw the smaller boxes. You can even catch them at the sky when Barrett throws them at you. It's really fun. It's a shining example of a boss having similar powers to a player. It becomes a battle of who can use it better, whose style is stronger, the rival battle. It's good shit. It's a fight so good that I sometimes open this game for the sole reason to replay this boss. It's so fun. Barrett stops to go for a round, and while holding you in the sky, he says, the offer is still open. You can still join me. Then he gently places you on the ground and texts you in good night. Damn, he really cares about you. He doesn't have it in him to kill his best student. He finds a plane and he can fly? When I was a kid, I made a character who was so good at telekinesis that he was able to use it on himself, allowing him to fly. I think that would be a cool idea, and not too hard to come up with. It would make more sense than him suddenly having a pilot's license. And you mean to tell me that Nick also has a pilot's license? Same with Sarah, as we already saw. Was the flight school for Sandra as a part of basic Mindgate training or something? Like, how do they all know how to fly? I bet even Leonov was able to fly. When he's in a plane, he just mind controls a bird, and that bird is his eyes. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, Nick flies away, abandoning Sarah, as he does not trust her anymore, making her very sad. You know this right now. 116,424 is $202,774.52 in today's money. Gave us a total of $585,306.89 of property damage. When Nick is flying to the next area, he hears a woman on the intercom. Since we couldn't stress a previous woman, we need a new woman to stress, so it'll be her. She sent us the coordinates of another psi operative, Wei Lu, the master of illusions. The only boss in the game that uses the ability that you can't learn. I guess Nick never experienced a traumatic event that made his eyes contort to a pinwheel, making anyone who stares at them enter in the illusionary realm of suffering that feels like it lasts for 10 years, but it actually lasts for 5 femtoseconds. Oh wait, wrong series. You start off in a very high place that gives me a lot of intrusive thoughts. So after tossing everyone off this building, we go inside and we come across our first grenadier. As mentioned before, I think this video's been pretty long. There's a breed of MP2s with infinite grenades. Their pockets have direct access to the heavy artillery dimension, the same dimension that Reaper from Overwatch has access to. So on site, let's kill all of them until the amount of hand grenades they throw increases to 1 hydrogen bomb. It's a good thing that psychotic mounted turret helped us there. I think I'm starting to tame them. What does a psychotic mountain turd eat? A cowboy wants a pet, and I want to take care of it. Through this door, we meet the girl that was talking to us on the helicopter. Her name's Kimiko. Kinda like the old video game console, the ColecoVision. By the way, do you remember the Coleco Chameleon? Coleco just came back one day and wanted to make a console. It's going to be inspired by old consoles. Even go as far as using cartridges for its games. It was crowdfunded. There a lot of devious shit happened, broken promises, price hikes, having less games than the PS5 on launch, and it was cancelled before I even saw the live day. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's continue the game. We learned that Kimiko worked for the movement. She was researching Luna 1. Because of his research, the General found out that there's some untapped power that no one knows about. The only way to tap into his power is to use Luna 1 to create something simply known as the monolith. Kimiko urges Nick to stop the General from creating the monolith. Since Sarah's not here, Kimiko will be our new support. She does not have telepathy like Sarah, so she gives us an earpiece. We must destroy the data vaults, and be cautious of Wei Lu, the master of illusions. She works for a general and wants us dead. We find a locked door, and we need to press 2 buttons at the same time that the little mind controller can't handle. But it seems like victims of mind control lose all strength, and a simple sliding door makes them ragdoll. Interesting. We open the Vault of Data, and we learn that the monolith was here since the 2 world wars. During the First Great War, the world's superpowers were trying to get as many monolith fragments as possible. During World War II, America and Russia were able to seize all the fragments that Germany stockpiled. During the Cold War, America and Russia developed their own side programs, with Mindgate being the American program. Having psionic freaks in your military would give you a massive advantage after all. Just look at the XCOM games. Kimiko's grandfather was a major player in the creation of Mindgate. When he died, Kimiko continued his research and met the General, who is of course very interested in applying the knowledge for his own. The General's goal right now is to get all the remaining fragments, plus Luna 1, so he can have the monolith for himself. We move on with another flashback. This one is for pyrokinesis. No statement from the cat this time? Guess the random things to say. Whatever the reason, I'm glad I'm not listening to him right now. Oh, someone's at the door. I want to overthrow the government! Excuse me? I want to overthrow the government! I just had a vision of how to do it. I'm gonna gather a whole team of friends, use psychology magic to enter the minds of all evil government figures, destroy their desires for power on a metaphysical level, and make them confess their sins. They'll feel so guilty that they will immediately resign. That's just the plot of Persona 5, but are you alright? In order to get stronger and achieve this goal, I must enter the local combat school, known as SEED. From there, I'll meet very close friends and have a bitter rival who follows orders for the school's biggest op. From there, I'll learn that me and my friends were actually orphans adopted by the aforementioned biggest op. We'll learn this through time travel, since I have no memory of the past. That's Final Fantasy VIII. Seriously, are you okay? I'm a hypocrite, okay? I took drugs, I took heroin, so what? Those last 2 rainbows were hallucinations. But they felt so real. I need that escapism for my stressful life. I'll pester you when I'm sober. I won the bet and know you have drugs. Man, this place is weird. Anyway, during our PK string, Barrett would not only make a lot of fire puns, he'll also give us a bunch of red barrels to play with.
PK fire!
Good job, Nick. We can go to the next area.
We learned that fire spreads and it looks cool. We're all cavemen satisfied by arson after all. We burned some Mindgate employees. They should really unionize. And there's not much left to restrain. Nick shoots firewalls now. With that flashback over, we come across a new enemy type, the MP3. They share the name of a very outdated audio format. They're also immune to all side powers except for PK. Once he is burned, he is now vulnerable to other side powers. You can kill them with bullets, but they're damage sponges, so it's best to burn them when you can. We destroy the MP3 player and steal this keycard. This will allow us to use the elevator and go to the lower floor where Wei Lu is. We find some massive balls, and I really felt a strong urge to shove my face into them. Anyway, we use our massive balls to blow a hole in this wall. and we have our first encounter with Wei Lu, and a maze of illusions, made to force Nick to experience his past trauma. She dangles the fact that she knows our past, every little detail, and she'll force us to remember. She'll force us to not see ourselves as a hero anymore, and we might just give up. But we're still dying to know, so we keep going. Amnesia is pain. In order to get through this, you need to look at the illusions and watch all of the major scenes. Keep in mind that some of these illusions have straps, like landmines or headless meat puppets. Some do give you ammo. Once you've seen everything, the door you need to get through becomes visible and is unlocked. Behind this door, you see another flashback. A bear tells Nick to burn some of his fellow soldiers alive. Behind this door, we see another flashback. A bear tells Nick to burn his comrades alive. We don't really know the context, aside from Bear being evil, but we do know that Nick obliges, putting the blood of his fellow soldiers on his hands. Bear does a signature evil laugh. The word immolation makes him very happy. Wei Lu tells Nick, I know what you've done. You've been a bad boy. You need proper punishment. She then summons dead souls to eat Nick alive, like that one David Cage game if you get the bad ending. The dead souls can be killed by mind drain. It's a really cool section overall. They drain pretty quickly though, so I wish more spawned so they can actually overwhelm you. It would be a help for an extra mode, a survival mode for this. The souls light up a fountain and opens this gate. We go in, get one last keycard, pretend to sneak past security cams, Microsoft got to open this door for us, second off us thanks, and we enter a dirt boss fight. Wei Lu, you can't trust your own thoughts. That's why your memories fade away. You can't trust your own senses. You don't even know what's real. Statues come to life, ready to put Nick's head on a stick. These statues can be beamed by any type of damage. Fire will make them freeze in place, and they'll take increased damage from everything. You'll be using a lot of side powers for this fight, which is why I saved up on a lot of elixir. The boss room does have a lot of side pickups, but depending on how the second phase goes, it may not be enough. The second phase being Wei Lu is transforming into a monster. She's like Jarbon, going from hot to what the fuck am I fighting? She has 3 health bars, 1 for each head. PK and melee would damage all 3 of them. For the highest damage possible, you want to do precise shots with telekinesis, and guns are your struggle meal. Use only from when you're out of options. Simple to understand, however, a very volatile fight, due to hitboxes being a bit devious. Getting hit by anything may do nothing or may break your spine. Be very careful. Burning her can make her draw attention and run all over the place. You could get trampled. Be prepared for this. Melee is unironically a safer way to damage all the bars at once. You can still get trampled, but it's not as likely. Even though this fight is historically problematic for me, I got it first try, because I am a professional. With Wei Lu dying on the ground, Nick asks her about his past. Wei Lu says that we have the power to stop the general, but she dies before she can say a very important detail about her backstory. Now it's time for more property damage. $312,324. That is $534,458.44 in today's money. We now have a total of $1,119,765.33 of property damage. We're hitting California real estate levels. We come across a bridge and some asshole throws a grenade at us, destroying pieces of the bridge. This is the only scenario where we have the TK surf in the main story. By standing on top of the object and using TK, you can ride on it. There's a bonus bridge that makes you use it. But overall, an underutilized idea. We force some poor victims to electrocute themselves, overload the power supply, make this force safe to walk on. Almost as ridiculous as driving to the nearest power plant in a stolen tanker, blowing up said tanker strike at the power plant to destroy the place, and you do all of this so you can climb an electric fence. We come across a mind control puzzle. I say puzzle loosely, this is more of a mind control task. We have to overload this accelerator core by pressing 4 levers. Every time I push a lever, the core will fire this ball of energy that insta-kills faster down the hallway. Run down the hall, take cover when needed, go to a room with a lever, press it, and repeat. It'll get to a point where the ball of energy is so fast that you won't be able to make it to the next room. The solution to this is go to the first room, do not press the lever, mind control a guy, take him to all 3 rooms, press a lever. After that's done, make him cancel his subscription to life, and then press the final lever yourself. There's an actual mind control patch over this, but you don't have to do it. All you have to do is flip this fence, and you skip it. To this day, I still don't know if that was the intentional solution or not. We come across Sarah again. Nick is rightfully apprehensive around here. Sarah's confused though, but she does not know what triggered this hostility. She recaps how the Americans and the Soviets fought over Luna 1, and Nick's like, yeah, I know. And even though you also know that, you still gave Luna 1 to her general. What's up with that? Sarah is still confused and she almost gets her head blown off, but Nick hesitates. And she gives us a keycard. We come across a very hot girl. Nick calls Kimiko asking who she is. This is Kessler, the master of pyrokinesis, and is angry most of the time. I do like people with passion. She sounds fun to hang out with. The general is pretty desperate right now. He's telling Kessler to do something exceedingly dangerous. Since 2 psyoperators under his command are dead, we need to do some drastic measures. Before we know what those drastic measures are, the general sees us. Kessler then turns 2 men into 2 hot men. Those 2 hot men attack us. We use our keycard, and we find a second keycard, and we use that keycard to find the elevator keycard, and that's a lot of fucking keycards. The game must really be obsessed with the concept of keycards. How many layers of keycards does one building need? Kessler and the general use the reactor to charge Luna 1. They both orgasm from the power. The general now has Super Luna 1. We try to stop them, but even though the reactor did number Kessler, she is still ready to fight us. So, we start another boss fight. Don't turn your back on her, she won't be ignored! Hey, it took me years to write a Linkin Park reference in one of these scripts, so I'm taking the opportunity now, better late than never. This is a two-phase fight. First, Kessler operates a special device that shoots beams, and it's also a cannon, the special beam cannon for short. We have to throw gas canisters at it, and we need to hope to God that Nick uses the right amount of force to actually do damage to it. Sometimes, Nick's arm goes limp, and he does put enough force, and the gas canister just kind of bounces off of it. Pretty annoying. Second phase, this special device that shoots beams is also a cannon blows up. She is now ready to draw flaming hands. Same thing though, throw canisters at her. Bullets melt on impact. And just like that, the gas canisters makes her no longer hot. Well, I mean, she's still hot, but you know, she's not like hot anymore. It's not funny, I know, just go with it. The reactor is about to blow up, and the general has a monolith. We need to get out of here, now. Kimiko realizes that if she does not contain the explosion, thousands of people will die. So she does just that, contain the explosion, which sacrifices her own life. A true hero. May she rest in peace. Surprisingly, no property damage was listed this time. I would think a massive reactor core would be quite expensive for the government, but, you know, whatever the game wants. We land in a place. We don't exactly know what this place is. Our navigator is fucking dead. We meet a guy who claims to be an old friend of ours, and Nick actually remembers him. Him remembering his string must have also helped to remember people. He's making great progress. We're kicking Amnesia's ass with this one. This guy is Brightson, a master of remote viewing. He took the ability so far that I can't even consider remote viewing anymore. At this point, it's astral projection that can be used to possess people, and can also shoot energy beams for some reason. Brightson informs us that he has captured Sarah. Out of concern, Nick uses telepathy to try to get in contact. Sarah warns us that they are here. Creatures that can't be seen, but are everywhere. And this whole scene is a bit of a low point of the game. I hope you like bad survival horror. We start the worst mission in the game, we're awakening the last power. Or a view.
Cat variable.
Make it quick, Doctor. I'm really busy right now, trying to figure out ways to get the channel back.
I collected some interesting data from the rat variable. Seems like you're constantly in your mind, venting about your creative journey. I would like to know what's going on in your head.
That's strange. The only visions I've been seeing was the rat giving me stupid ideas. They were proposed an idea and I shut it down. I get pelted with ideas like, we should do a silence run on Persona 4 where we only use Jack Frost and no RE party members. Or something even more stupid like, we should do a stream where we open multiple emulators, boot a fine game with each one, and try to complete an arcade run, playing all of them at the same time with one controller. I respect their creativity, but when our normal content isn't the meaning goals, why should we put so much work and new ideas when we clearly don't have the basics down?
Fascinating. What do you suggest that we do?
We are never consistent with content, so our previous formula never had a chance to grow and really prove itself. So we go back to our roots, perfect what we were doing. It's been a long time since we did a skit. Where's the anti-dry cop? I need him.
He was crying in the corner, talking about his inability to overthrow the government. He seems unable to act.
Damn, I like that guy. Well, you're here, and I could probably find someone else. Come with me. We'll make the skit right now, and we'll upload it before the rap finishes their useless viola essay. Hi, my name's Gamer Game Merchant, the CEO of GameStop. I see that you defeated the final boss, known as the dreaded job interview, and you feel like you're ready to work. Well, hold on there, Spartan. First, you need to learn to be a good GameStop employee. You see, we collaborate with Ubisoft to install cameras pointed at every angle of the cashier, each powered by Battlelight anti-cheat. If you break these important rules, an alarm will go off, and the camera will shoot a beam at you that'll boot you right off the server. We don't want that, do we? No, you don't want that. Let's get started. Rule number 1. Do not give the customer any money for any reason. While it's true that we allow customers to bring in their consoles and games to trade them in for other products, or even money, we need to keep in mind that this is a business. We're a small independent hole in the wall that almost went bankrupt. We need to hold on to the money, always lowball them, give them absolutely no value for their trades. The currency we want from our customers are Benjamins and grants, not multiple copies of Destiny 1. For reference, here's a real interaction by real people, not actors.
I would like to trade my PS4, 3 copies of Destiny 1 and Killzone Shadowfall for 1 PS5 and copy of God War Ragnarok, please.
Well, hold on there, Kid Chris. You're flying a little too close to the sun, asking for that much.
What can I get for them then?
After crunching the numbers, I can give you $3 of store credit. And because I'm feeling nice, I was doing a pack of Pokemon Evolving Skies. It's on the house.
I paid over $500 for these items. What the fuck?
As we can see, the customer is in distress. Despite being presented with such an amazing deal, I would love to get some Pokemon cards, but this guy has no taste. So we need to move on to something else. Rule number 2. Always present our tried and true diplomatic solution, the GameStop Power-Up card. Observe how our masterful employee executes this tactic. I'm sorry my offer was unsatisfactory, but fear not, Spartan. I have an answer for you. Would you be interested in our Powers Rewards program? With this handy power-up card, you can level up your game collection by buying used games at a reduced price. Gain enough points, and you might even get some store credit. We know this is an offer you can't refuse, so would you kindly please give me your email address, your social security number, your birth certificate, your firstborn son?
I did not ask for a fucking subscription service. I asked you to combine the value of goods presented to you to get an equal value of goods in return. Where's my PS5 for Ragnarok?
When diplomacy does not work, there's only one thing that can be done. Rule number 3. By any means necessary. Look here, you little shit! I'm not trying to get sent to a sour realm. Do not me and my power-up quota. I have a family to go home to. Shut the fuck up and sacrifice your soul to a power-ups rewards program. And just like that, another happy customer. They're so happy they're talking about their family. That's the benefits of our beautiful services. Now you're ready to... What the hell is going on here? I didn't write this in the script.
Cat variable. This has been going on for too long. Cut the program. Now!
Yo, Frog, can you explain what's going on?
The cat variable was there. The moment you walked in, It felt like the world was collapsing in on itself. For the safety of everyone here, you two must not engage until I figure out why you exist. Ignore the cat. Continue what you're doing.
But the cat's gonna be hard to ignore to keep interrupting me, but whatever. How annoying. Anyway, Overview is the ability to see things that can't be seen with the naked eye. Those things can be cracks on the wall, hidden messages, insta-kill mines, and monsters. Tentacle monsters whose mouths are just bombless teeth dimensions known as Orbeez. Those are the things that Sarah warned us about, and they're gonna make this level a pain to get through. You can see them, yes, but you can't really work past them without provoking them. And while you can attack an Overview, they don't take damage unless they're revealed. So you cannot make the first move. They must be aggroed first. Because of this, it's very likely that they will get the first attack on you. And when one gets angry, 3 or more will spawn as they smell blood, and it's not fun to deal with. After our first encounter with the Orbeez, we find Sarah. Sarah tells us, don't move, those things are here. It feels like this cutscene is trying to introduce the idea of Orbeez to you. But the thing is, they already spawned a few. We already have an idea of how they work and how to deal with them. So it feels like they should have spawned Orbeez after this cutscene, not before. And Orbeez spawns and charges at Sarah. It does not really look like an attack though. It's more like a puppy jumping on your lap and licking your face. The absolute cuteness of this Orbeez makes Sarah pass out, and Nick shoots it before he gives any more kisses. We then toss this guy around a bit. Then we tell him to open this door with our mind. The RV man possesses us, jump scares Sarah, does not elaborate, then leaves. What are you, some internet troll or something? What's wrong with you, Bryson? Sarah says once again that hey, the general is here. He's going to activate the monolith. I will help you, but you have to trust me. Due to Kimiko being dead, may she rest in power. We don't have any other options when it comes to navigators. We gotta have to trust her again. We almost die by some Orbeez. And then we find an object lit up by Overview. We need to put a key on this thing. And for the first time in forever... It's not a key card. We press this huge button, then Sarah tells us she has a plan to get out of here, in the mirror ahead. We find this pyramid. It's a pyramid key. We use this as a key. It's a key that's shaped like a pyramid. It's also a key. We must carry this tiny pyramid and take the little guy home. However, 3 or 4 MP3s and a small militia of MP2s attack us. It's a bit of a challenging room thanks to the enemy composition, but there's a massive bell here you can grab a telekinesis that will instantly kill people, and it's really fun to use. Just be careful the MP2s constantly throwing grenades at you. And also, the MP3s can jump in front of the bell and body block your telekinesis. Overall, really fun room. Might actually be my favorite non-boss fight. We go up these stairs to see another locked door. Now you find 2 pyramid keys. And I have to mention, the Orbeez are really fanky. It's really hard to determine what actually pisses them off. I'm legit trying to provoke them, and when I set my mind to it, I'm pretty good at provoking people. But these things shift from not giving a fuck about my existence to one be killed on sight. Because of its unpredictable nature, I suddenly get blindsided, I take a bunch of damage and I die. Did I mention that I don't like these things? We find Sarah again as we finally mirror up ahead. She wants to get on top of the tower. In this building, there's a staircase that I need to get to. It's just that right now, it's infested with infinitely spawning Orbeez. If we attempt to get there now, we'll die. Her plan is to exploit the weakness that Orbeez have. They are repulsed by psi power. We use a satellite to broadcast our psi powers. That way, we turn all the Orbeez into hot women, and Nick into a ratter. All the Orbeez will want nothing to do with him. It's a perfect plan. And once the Orbeez are gone, we don't have to deal with them again, and the world will be happy. We get attacked up the cutscene and we go back to our previous mission. Unlock the door. We find the blue pyramid key, and the red pyramid key is the previous pyramid key. We see relocate this pyramid key to a new home, a new fancier home. We'll be so happy. Good thing that when a door unlocks, it stays unlocked. So used pyramids are acceptable. It was, however, quite annoying to get this little guy up the stairs. You see, pyramids lack legs, so it's pretty hard for them to walk upstairs. Kinda like Ashley in Resident Evil 4. but she had a fear of climbing down a ladder so he had to catch her. That was weird. After we unlock the door, there's another lock we need to bypass. This time, this involves putting balls at the right spot. When we play with the balls in just the right way, the door opens. I kinda miss the key cards. They were a lot more intuitive. And now the RV man is back, with evil monologue plus lore dump. He reveals that the place they're in right now is a place that was resided by ancient monks. These ancient monks worship Monolith. Now I wonder if they were psionic monks that got their power for sheer devotion, like if a monk multi-classes to a paladin. He also said, just like the monks, he rejected his physical body and became a god to ether. Be water, my friends. Be divine water. However, I don't think monks went that far, becoming gods of the ether, but whatever. To each their own, I guess. He did this by permanently entering RV, and we don't exactly know where his body is. Then he goes on an evil tirade about how he owns his temple, and with his high-level RV skills, he can see and know all and pierce the mind of any intruders, and he just kept yapping. Even Nick was like, shut the fuck up. And then he actually said something plot relevant, so now I have to listen to him. He mentioned a general. He's here like, I'm going to overthrow the general. I am the god of the ether. He cannot hold me, or some shit like that. He also mentioned that he needs my help to do that, but he doesn't elaborate, then he leaves. We can finally stop listening to that guy and touch grass. Outside, we have the satellite, where we can broadcast the side powers. The satellite is heavily guarded though. There's a new enemy type here, guys with missile launchers. They instantly kill you, be careful. We do some mind control things, like kill the enemy sniper, and dropping a red barrel on MP3. It's important to kill the snipers first, maybe because if they see a flowing red barrel, they will shoot it. It was awareness I didn't expect from this game, but then. We make our way up, there's a few more MP3s, and there's a really psychotic MP2. He just kept throwing grenades. I'm pretty sure the gases from the grenades would have blown a hole in the ozone layer by now. That's how many grenades he drew. And then we hit the checkpoint of the satellite. We didn't shoot a beam of psionic power at the tower, eradicating a shit ton of Orbeez. Most of them are dead, but there's still gonna be a few more left that we need to deal with. But he'll be fine. Sarah's pleased with our efforts, and now we're gonna go mirror the tower. It's time for more property damage. $163,746 is $277,970.39 in today's money. Give us a total of $1,297,735.72. Sarah lets us know that the surviving Orbeez are still here, and she's trapped by them. However, there's a kill switch. The movement set up this kill switch to keep the Orbeez under control. All we have to do is use Orview on his whiteboard to see the code, then go to the side beacon and mind control its MP2, then punch the code in. We're able to do this because Orbeez do not attack meat puppets, so we can roam freely with this mind control guy. Sarah then pulls up everything the RV guy's been spying on. He looks at the moon a lot. Luna 1 was received in the 60s, and yet he's still looking at the moon. Maybe that's no history? I don't know. And here's a little plot twist. Sarah has a twin sister named Tanya. She was the flirty Sarah that we gave Luna 1 to. Tanya says that she's the one that killed her parents, because they didn't allow her to achieve her true psionic potential. The general, however, promises that power, so she works for him. This is pretty similar to the backstory behind Undertaker and Kane. Not exactly, but similar. Bryson, the RV guy, takes over Sarah, and he could have killed Nick right here, but he didn't. This is like the third time Nick should have died, but the villain enjoyed being evil too much, and they just left during their evil laughs and monologue, and overall they just like watching Nick suffer. Everyone's like Joker, but none of them has a boss to kill Jason Todd. So we saves them and tell this poor soul to open a door for us, and we start the Bryson boss battle. Bryson closes the door with his mind and reveals his real body. His evil, foolproof plan is to use RV to take control of Nick and steal the Monolith from General, becoming the ultimate side god. A goal that will make Captain Ginyu proud. We start the fight, and Bryson's only attack is shooting RV beams at us with his TVs. All we have to do is destroy the TVs when they attack. The easiest way to do this is to stay at the entrance and dodge the counter. If you get closer to him, Avatar, the last Orbeez, will attack you and spawn some of his friends. And that turns this fight from absolute joke to actually annoying. So let's not do it. Once he's defeated, Avatar the Last Orbeez attacks Brightson for being an incompetent leader. He dies, bringing them all with him, saying that the other side is beautiful. At least he died happy, surrounded by tentacle monsters that he loves so much. I hope one day I die like that in a similar way. I mean, what? You didn't hear it! After that, Nick goes after the General, and Sarah looks for Tanya. Both characters back at their original goal. We're in the final mission now. Orbeez are gone, but they have been replaced with insta-kill mines, only seen by Aura Vision. Enemies are really strong here, to pulling out all of the stops. A bunch of MP3s, missile launcher guys, and a few infinite grenade men. You'll see dodge these mines. Best way to do it is to play slow and use dead bodies to self mines for you. This is also one of the only times I use RV to serve the area and play my attack. Thank you, Brightson. You'll be missed. If I ever play higher difficulties, well, okay, it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. This is something I'll consider, using RV like this. After a massive shootout, be careful across this bridge filled with mines. Those hitboxes are deceptive, so it really helps to hike the guardrails. Barrett is here. This is where the General found the first piece of the monolith, and this is where you'll complete it. Barrett marvels at this, seeing that the government and mundane humans will no longer use us as tools and throw us away where we're no longer needed. Instead, they will kneel before us, worship us as gods, or die. Nick acknowledges that he's been used, but he always fought for a free world, and a free world does not involve the oppressed coming to the oppressors. With Nick getting more of his memories back, we see that he is now able to outdo Barrett's telekinesis. He falls back, saying that General shall rule. The final frontier. Nick comes in, and Sarah's right behind us. Oh, actually, my bad, that's Tanya. The real Sarah shoots her in the back of the head and says a really cheesy line.
Mom always did like me best, bitch.
John General. But actually, you know it. His name's actually General Krager, but that's a dumb name. So John General talks some more about the monolith, and he spent years trying to get to his point. We see Barrett's role in this. Over the years, the moon's orbit shifted, made the monolith weaker, so he amplifies Barrett's telekinesis. And he grabs the moon and places it exactly where it needs to be, putting the moon back in the orbit it previously was. I bet NASA's shaking in their boots right now. The General is now one of the Psi Elite, blessed by the monolith. Before he takes care of us, the General must do one more thing. Because true power is not meant to be shared. The once mundane human uses a Psi operative as a tool, and then throws it away. With one clean shot to the head. The leopards will always eat your face. First phase of the fight, we get a monolith so it no longer protects the General. After that, he comes out of stasis, using all offensive Psi powers. I'll defer back to the idea that as a kid, the son using telekinesis on himself to fly, because I feel like that's what the General was doing. Otherwise, how's he flying? His two main attacks are using telekinesis to throw a bunch of items at you, and using pyrokinesis to throw meteors at you. You don't have a gun for this fight, but you do have what the game calls the ultimate weapon. A Psi energy blast you get from collecting fragments of the monolith. It's a cool attack, but telekinesis does more damage. The caveat being, you need to use multi-lift to get up height, so you're actually able to hit the General with your telekinesis. It takes the best parts about the Barrett fight, and adds a few things that would make the Barrett fight worse, so the Barrett fight's still better. The monolith makes a made black hole, bringing the General with it. Helicopters come for Nick and Sarah, but Nick remembers everything now, and knows immediately that these people are not here to help. After Nick destroys one of the helicopters, we get hit with "To be continued." However, this game never got a sequel. Apparently the Midway devs added some ideas they have for a sequel in another game called Stranglehold, and that game is actually a sequel to a John Woo movie, Hard Boiled. After that, Midway goes bankrupt. Remaining employees start to work for NetherRealm years later, where they made the NRS era Mortal Kombat. In that era, Mortal Kombat's been a roller coaster itself. Alongside Mortal Kombat, they made Injustice, and they never turned back. It's a shame, really. It would be nice to have a game this unique on modern consoles. Maybe someday we could rally for a sequel. But hey. However, around the time Midway was having financial troubles, they made the PC version of this game free with ads. However, when Midway is gone, this game became abandonware, as there was no one to support it. There are still ways to get the PC version, and won't have ads as Midway's gone. I'm not exactly sure how you go about that, but if you find a way, I recommend it. This game is a must play. You're that or you emulate it like I did. This game's an absolute classic from my childhood that I loved to bits. And I'm glad I was able to finally talk about it. I grew up with the PS2, and playing these games are very comfy for me. Before I let you go, we still have property damage to calculate. $245,376 is $417,231.04. We now have a grand total of $1,814,966.76. And since this video took so long to make, I would calculate it to be a bit more closer to what it is now. So it's more like around $1,827,565.03. But yeah, thanks for indulging me. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that'll be. We also have Twitch streams. And by Twitch, it's much more consistent on YouTube. If you miss Twitch streams, we also have a vlog channel now. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself.
The rat variable just finished the video. What's your plan, cat variable?
We had a creative formula, and that rat just had to ruin everything. I'm gonna try to take everything back. Flood the channel with my vision. I'm the original hand. I know what's best.
I'm to the dawn, nobody comes. Unbreakable, silent, slowly hovers in the air. I'm to the dawn, nobody comes. Let fireflies spread out to the dawn.